Hello and welcome to this video. My name's Kris, I'm an Australian GP, and believe it or not, I'm nearly 30. I think I look my age. However, you can't really tell in videos. I am a petite woman, and I guess with glasses and mask you can't see the fine details of my face, and quite commonly I will get the comment, "You look too young to be a doctor." So I want to talk about that today. This is more of a ranty video than anything. But on the surface, it seems like that's a really big compliment, right? You look way too young. And trust me, there are days where I look in the mirror and then I think one thing of myself and someone will come around and say that and I think, you just made my day, thank you so much. However, it is not a benign comment and it quite often has connotations under the surface that are really irksome, especially as a female in the medical industry. When I went through med school, 49% of us were female and 50% were male. So it's not like we are the minority. We're pretty even now. And especially in general practice, especially at the practice I work at, we're basically 80-20. I don't know about GP in general, but in my practice it's 80-20. That being said, there is a real patriarchal, whatever, history when it comes to medicine, right? It used to be men were the doctors and women were the nurses. Is there anything wrong with nurses? Absolutely not. However, it's just hearing that comment again comes with it all of this stigma. You look too young to be a doctor. And quite often, men can also get this compliment. I'm not denying that at all. I'm just speaking from experience as a young female. And yeah, I am young, but I'm not too young to treat you. So first, let's touch base with what I would normally say. Sometimes I'll brush it off and say, thank you so much for the compliment. Sometimes I'll joke and say, I'm a regular Doogie Howser, which is kind of showing my age, isn't it? Because that's an old TV show. Sometimes I'll joke and say, look, I'm Benjamin Buttoning. I'm actually 90. Just get some laughs, but not really. And sometimes I will say the obvious. I'm older than I look. Often I, will just joke and pass on with my day and continue doing what I'm doing. But it sometimes does get to me. See, the compliment itself is fine. Like I said though, it's that underlying almost assumption or stigma that really can be irksome. And maybe this is simply just my bias and something I'm insecure about and therefore I interpret it through this lens. Absolutely, I completely understand that and accept that. But what I hear sometimes, especially with how it's said, the tone at which it's delivered, you look too young to be a doctor. What I'm then hearing is, I don't think I trust you. I don't think you're an actual doctor. Are you a nurse or are you a med student? Again, nothing wrong with being either of them. I don't think I want you treating me and my family. And sometimes there's a question of, how did you get where you are at your age? Because here are the facts. I'm a specialist. I'm not yet 30. This is rare, but not so rare that it's never happened before and it never will happen again. Like, I'm not that bloody special. I'm not special to begin with. But it is uncommon. And so people can sometimes wonder, did you buy into this? Is it money? Do you know someone who knows someone? And it just gets really frustrating. And I know I'm not the only person in the medical field, especially in a female position, who feels this way. The other thing is, again, I can have more experience than a doctor who presents older or who is chronologically older than I am. Age doesn't equal experience, and it's really demoralizing and demeaning when I'm giving you advice and you turn to my older looking colleague, or sometimes even that's a male colleague. Again, this isn't actually about sex, it's about perceived age, and ask them the same question when I've actually got years of experience on them. I've had patients of mine when I'm teaching a med student turn to the medical student who either is or maybe perhaps looks older than me because they're taller, broader, male, you name it, and ask them if I'm telling them the right thing. Excuse me, it's my name on the door. I'm the doctor here. This is my medical student who I adore and, I love teaching. But it's infuriating to be questioned, and it happens a lot. And again, I know this is more about age and perceived age, but my younger male colleagues or younger presenting male colleagues often are congratulated. Wow, you are so young to be a doctor. You are so young to be a consultant. You are so young to be a GP. And it's praise. Whereas when it's me, or at least in my experience and the experience of other females, it's how did you get here? Are you sure? It's questioned, and therein lies the frustration, I guess. So this is just a rant. I'm not trying to do anything except for rant and kind of educate about how words can be perceived, how our internal biases can change things, how the day we're having can change things. But I think from now on, I want to try and change the way I respond. I don't think I've ever snapped at a patient for this, let alone ever. But I know sometimes it can really like put me on the back foot. So I want to, for my own mental health, I guess, really introspectively review and analyze why I feel this way. And it's the feeling that I'm not good enough. And do they know I'm an imposter? And are they seeing right through me? And am I too young? Am I too whatever? So I want to start responding differently too. So from here on, I'd like to clarify what they mean, because I think communication is key. So, you look too young to be a doctor. Oh, what do you mean? And if it turns out that they're concerned that I'm not credentialed enough, I can tell them. I'm a fellow, I'm a consultant. If it's, you look very young. Well, thank you. That's a compliment. We'll carry on. Though, to be fair, I don't think there's anything wrong with aging or looking your age. I think it's an absolute bloody privilege to age. And it's an absolute it's a privilege not everyone gets. So I've got no problems with my grey hairs and my wrinkles and everything Anyway, that's another side tangent altogether. Other responses I want to try and consider saying include, does my age concern you? Especially if someone then, from the first question implies that it does. Because if it does, then I can tell them, well, age doesn't equal experience, and I am competent and I am confident and I can prove that. If someone continues at it, which has happened before, where they start, well, when's your birthday? And, are you fresh out of med school and whatnot? Again, nothing wrong being fresh out of med school. I was once, but in my current role, if that continues, I hope to be able to say with confidence and respect, I can sense there's a bit of discomfort in this. Would you feel more comfortable or confident with a colleague of mine? Would you like a second opinion? We don't have to continue if we don't want to. What can I do to make you more comfortable? Because again, I just don't see why age is a big deal. So yeah, that's 8 minutes of me ranting about how I'm perceived to be younger than I potentially am. It is a compliment, and I get that. However, in a professional sense, I don't think it needs to be commented on. And if it is, I hope that it's never from a place of not trusting. Mistrust, is that the word? Because that's how it feels. That's how I interpret it sometimes. And again, I acknowledge I'm coming from my own experience with my own biases and my own history. But I did an Instagram post on this and I had over 153 people like it. I'm looking at it now. The majority of them young female doctors. So I know I'm not alone there. So if you've ever told your doctor they look young, or you are really tempted to say it one day, just think about what you're saying and what it implies and what your intentions are. And if you are a young looking doctor, male, female, non-binary, anything in between, you get told this, I hope, one, that it was a compliment, and two, that you can interpret it as such, or stand your ground and ask what they actually mean. Anyway, ranty pants are well done now. I hope you liked this video and liked the bit of an insight to the difficulties that being a physician can bring outside the actual medicine side of things. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you've had any video requests, also comment them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you in a video very soon. Bye.